Thank you. Okay, so welcome everyone. Thank you all for jumping on this morning for some of us and this evening for you guys over in the UK. I'd just like to introduce myself. My name's Mandy. I live in the southwest. This is my husband Dean. We live in the southwest of Western Australia. A lot warmer for us at the moment than you guys over in London, all rugged up there, Dom. So we are just going to give you, probably about 25 minutes of your time tonight, just to listen to a little bit of what we've got going on here. A new company that is, well, a relatively new company that has been opened into the UK market, the UK European market, and we're going to give you a bit of information just around the products and obviously the opportunity around that as well. We'll touch on that as well. So just moving through it. So just to give you, like I said, to give you a little bit of a quick background on myself, I started using the products just over 3 years ago now. I was looking for a bit of a solution, of an all-round health solution at the time. I'd tried many things throughout my adult life with a bit of a yo-yo dieting pattern around that. So I was really looking for something that was going to, number one, sort of those last sort of few sticky kilos, but also make me feel better in myself. I'm 44 years old as of Sunday, and I just knew that I had to implement something into my life now that was going to serve me for longevity. So when Isogenics came along, I was very much open to trying this, and I had some incredible results in my sort of first month and 30, 60, 90 days from there, and now obviously 3 years later. So my energy improved. I dropped around 4 or 5 kilos in that first sort of month. My gut health that I used to complain about a lot started to dissipate and feel a lot better. I slept better, and to be completely honest, my whole well-being and my stress levels, all of that just started to really start to come back into balance. So to say that I've had some really amazing changes with the system is sort of, very understated. So now I just fully believe that, everyone deserves to feel and look their best. It's a pretty simple thing in life. That's all we really want. And that sort of obviously flows on to other things in our life when we actually have got our health back. So that's just a little bit about me. We'll have some other people sharing tonight just to give you some insight into their experiences. But first and foremost, let's just have a quick look here. We've got this little slide up that's just outlining the Isogenics vision. And that is to impact world health and free people from not only the physical pain, which I've just touched on, but also financial pain. And we'll go into that a little bit closer, or a little bit further down the track. And in the process, create the largest health and wellness company in the world. And currently in the ANZ market, so Australian New Zealand market, we are number one. So we are certainly on track to doing that. So it's a very exciting time and an incredible company to be involved in. So just to have a little look at this here, have a little think of where you are at in your life right now. And, if you're actually living your ideal life around your health, but also around your finances and your lifestyle, and if there's room for improvement there. So, if you were to sort of look at your overall health around energy and stress and weight and all of those sorts of things, just have a think of where you sit on a number between 1 and 10 and how you would like to see that improve, what areas you think could improve. And also just around your finances, I think one of the biggest stresses in life is actually financial stress. So have a little look and see where you sit there, and whether or not what we share tonight is a solution that may fit in with any of those needs for you. So again, I'll touch on this a little bit at the end as well, but we have got the products there for the health improvements, but there also is that percentage of people, which is massively high, that are related to work and money stresses. So I really like to sort of share this just to indicate that, it's acknowledged, and that we actually do have something here that if you're looking at, obviously, earning an additional income stream, then this may be something for you. Moving on here to what we've actually got with the products, and Isogenics offers some amazing solutions to transform lives. And in the UK market, we've got the weight management and the energy performance solutions, which is super exciting because I know that it's growing and around that that performance side too. So there's lots of exciting things that are going to be coming up in the UK market. But initially, so what we're going to do is we're just going to have a few people share tonight. I'd love to introduce a really good friend of ours, Rory. He's an incredibly knowledgeable health professional, and has certainly been using these products for a long time with some great experience around obviously his experience with it, but obviously the way that he's helped other people along the way as well. So I might just get Roz to share quickly his story as well as then run through some products.
Too easy, man. Thanks for having me. I think, hey? Yeah. Well, like man probably hasn't shared yet, but it's 4:30 a.m. in the morning here. I'm actually calling in from Bali, from Indonesia, and Mandy's in the southwest, and I guess we're talking to you guys over in the UK. So I was over in the UK for the launch of this product mid-year this year, and it's probably one of the most exciting things that I've seen for a long time. And I guess my story with this starts about 4 or 5 years ago, where I was working in a physiotherapy clinic with elite sporting teams back in Australia. And I wasn't really, looking for anything at the time. However, I did have a lot of energy issues and digestive issues, which I was spending a lot of money trying to get on top of for about 1 to 2 years. And they were things that were just a subject of, they were a symptom of my lifestyle at the time. I was just working extremely hard. I was like an iPhone battery on about 10%. So energy was the big solution that I was looking for. And my cabinet was, it had a mixture of pretty much every product you could imagine, both natural supplements, and also I'd been speaking to all my modern medicine doctors as well. But the truth was that I wasn't getting any better, and I wasn't seeing a shift or a change. So I was actually introduced to this program by a good friend, Peter Kelly. So she was a girl I went to university with. She was doing an honours PhD all around sort of performance, and also had like a bioenergetics and sort of nutritional background to it. So, 9 months of my health ego, and I finally sort of listened to her and said, you know what, Peter, I'm going to give this a go. And I just said, I'm just going to do it for myself. I'm going to trust the process. I'm not going to try and think I'm smarter than, the 20-odd leading scientists behind this program with, 10, 20 years of knowledge each. And I just put the stuff in my body. And next thing 2 weeks later, my energy levels went through the roof. I went from a bloke that was relying on 5 coffees a day to someone that was napping in between patients, getting up sluggish, going to bed fatigued, and then waking up tired, to someone that was getting up at 6 a.m., plugging back through till 10 p.m. at night, no naps during the day, no coffee needed. And that was huge for me, because I'd probably been looking for that solution for 2 years, and to see that come in this little brown box was pretty phenomenal. And then I guess from that, I started to see my digestive issues started to really disappear, more in the sense that I wasn't noticing them. And I was intolerant to everything before that. And all of a sudden, I was able to, just get through my days without having too many issues there. So the only thing I changed for this program, so I started to notice that change as well. And I guess then from that, I just started to share this program. I got really excited, actually, and I started to share this program with friends and family and patients. And I started to see patients who couldn't exercise because they had, sore knees and things like that, shifting 15, 20 kilos. I saw my best mate, who's another physio, who was already healthy, improve his health, from like 80% to 95%. So I just started to see the full spectrum of this, and, I've just stuck with it for about 4 or 5 years since, and been fortunate enough to go on and help people help people, which has gone on to impact around 35 or 32,000 people now. So that's what I'm really excited about, is having tools like this in my belt, which can help people. And I guess for the UK crew, I'm just excited that you guys are hearing about this first, because this definitely is the #1 product in Australia and New Zealand. And I can see it being the #1 product over there in the UK as well. So that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, Roz. And I love how I love how you share that, you know, you're a health professional who had lost his health, and just it's so easy for that ego to get in the way. I think a lot around the health professionals of thinking that they know the best, and just by actually giving it a go and seeing that the changes and the impact that you've had over the last few years around this is just insane. So I love the story. So thank you. And I might get you then, because of your knowledge around that, I might actually get you to share just on the products tonight. So, I'll flip through the slides, and if you want to just give a little rundown on each of the products in the system that they've got over in the UK.
Perfect. And the first thing I'm going to say is, like, I'm not an expert in nutrition. I'm extremely passionate about it, and probably more knowledgeable than most about it. And I know this program sort of inside and out. But I'd say go have a look at isoproduct.com, and that'll have a lot of the details that you need, because that's what I did as well. Is I got really curious and went and did my own research. But I guess probably the key thing is there's sort of 5 pillars to the program. The smoothie is one of the main pillars, and this is something that, you know, as a health professional, I'd never really used, except for when I was playing elite sport, and we just got our sports dietitians and stuff put us onto this type of stuff. But what I noticed with this specific smoothie is that they'd sourced it from, like, undenatured whey from New Zealand. So the thing with New Zealand is there's no hormones, no nasties, no anything, and that's just like a national standard. So the fact they were sourcing the protein from there, I knew that they were getting it from the best source in the world. And then the fact that they've got patented system where it's sort of undenatured, which means that it's not like heat treated, it's not blasted, it's not basically denatured. Then it means that it comes in really full protein chains, which all that means for the average person is that you drink it, you have your super smoothie that most people are having every day, you have your smoothie bowls, and you're getting, like, if not the highest source of quality of protein that you could possibly get. And that's only a small part of the smoothie. There's also a balance of all your other building blocks, so your vitamins, your minerals, your trace minerals, pre and probiotics that we all take your Yakults for and try and balance that digestive system. And also, good fats and carbohydrates as well. So it's just an awesome little smoothie bowl that you can have every day. I still have it now 4 to 5 years later. And it probably gets 40 out of the 90 building blocks that I need just by having this in my sort of my daily rhythm. So that's the smoothie. Is there another? Yeah. And Cleanse for Life. So this one's, or Nourish for Life. This is a really cool. Yeah, Nourish for Life. So basically, this is the equivalent to the Ionics, isn't it, Mans?
No, this is the Cleanse, doll.
This is a Cleanse. Yeah, sorry, they've changed the names when they went to the UK, but Cleanse for Life. So this is a cool product because most people are probably hearing more about intermittent fasting, and the benefits of intermittent fasting by itself is phenomenal. But what people miss, and I see this a lot in Bali where I am, is people are doing these like 21-day water fasts and things like that, and they're pretty extreme. The recommendation is to do no more than 2 days in a row. Pushing into 3 days can be beneficial, but it's not recommended. So you've probably heard of, I think Michael Mosley is quite big over in the UK. So Eat Fast, Live Longer. He's got the 5 and 2 fasting diet that he talks about. So that's actually part of this program. The cool thing that Nourish for Life adds to that is it's nutritionally supported fasting. So imagine the best of like Chinese herbs and botanicals, Ayurvedic medicine, and also the nutritional science, which says, okay, how much of this do you actually need to have a therapeutic benefit, plunked into this little bottle. So all you do is you do a intermittent fasting day, and then you drink this tonic during the day. So as you're fasting, you're releasing stuff in your bloodstream. This is sort of just aiding that process, and your body naturally detoxifies. And this doesn't do anything extra than just making that a little bit more easy for the average person who may never have ever done this before, and also just helps the process so that people get the results as well. So this is a really cool little product.
Awesome. So I thought around that we might get Dino to share just on his weight loss, and then we'll move to the last two products. So
thanks, babe.
That's you.
That's me.
Dino.
Yeah, as you can see, that picture on the left, I'll spin out when I see that now. Look, I'm a tradie, so I kind of got stuck in that tradie mentality of, you know, hitting the bakery and the beers a bit. I guess after being pretty fit and healthy most of my life, I sort of let that go a little bit, and I sort of just didn't have the energy, and just lost my way a little bit there for a while. I saw the results Mandy was having. I think she started about 6 weeks before I did, and I could just see her energy levels, and she dropped a few kegs as well. So we had a bit of a chat, and I jumped on board. That was 3 years ago now. So as a result, you can see, I think from the second to third photos there, there's a drastic change. You know, I think I ended up dropping about 10 kilos in all, but I've also managed to start to turn that around just with my energy levels and stuff like that. I've hit the gym again. I started playing footy again. So and I think I've turned the corner and started building some lean muscle through that. And you know, that's just one of the benefits of using this system too. You can really use it in different ways. So weight loss for me sort of came out of the blue. I thought I was going okay, but clearly I wasn't there on the left. So, and like Mandy said earlier, like, we're just really passionate now about sharing the products with people and just helping people any way we can, just to get on top of their health. And then obviously once you sort of start feeling good, and it naturally, organically start sharing it with people, then there's obviously a way to release a bit of financial stress too, if that's what you choose. So yeah, that's Dino's story in a nutshell. So
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. Awesome.
What are you laughing at, Rory?
Mate, I just love the simplicity of it. You know, like, I think a lot of people can jump on and make these things so much more complex than what it is. And, you know, you're pretty much like, yeah, put in my body, got this result on the left, on the right, you know. Went to the bakery a couple too many times. It's just so true though. Like, I think we've all been in that situation, you know, like.
You know that we're simplistic.
Right.
Oh, it's got to be. It's got to be.
Awesome. And then this is the Ionics, Ross. So
this little guy. So again, probably the big thing for me was energy, right? So I'd actually, before I got on this program, I was sent to a dude in New Zealand who was apparently like the guy for nutritional supplements, because I had like adrenal fatigue and some long-standing fatigue issues. And, you know, all the elements that he was using were in this product. So that was quite interesting for me when I saw this get put in front of me, because these guys had all of that plus more. So Ionics is it's such a cool thing. Like, imagine it's the thing that sort of gets you out of bed in the morning. So I mentioned in my story that I was really sluggish. I was napping during the day, and I was finding it hard to get up in the morning, and I was going to bed and my head was racing. So what this does with the adaptogens and all these little Ayurvedic and Chinese herbs and botanicals is, like, it'll bring you up in the morning. So it helps you get up out of bed. Like you'll notice you start getting up before your alarm clock and little things like that. And that's something that I hadn't noticed for a long time. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's sort of this micro accumulation over time, right? So you need to sort of get into it 1, 2, 3 weeks, and you start to notice the changes. But it's also something I use to, when I'm quite stressed and quite racy in the mind, which is common with, the 21st century world, phones, et cetera, et cetera. It's a thing that winds me back down at nighttime as well. So it's got this, when we talk about adaptogens are the ability to create energy, but also to calm you down and bring you back down into a nice rhythm as well, so you can get a good sleep. So that's what largely a lot of the plant-based sort of products, I guess, in this little guy will help you do as well. And again, it only works as part of an integrated system. Like I've tried this with people just by itself, but if you're not fasting and clearing the tank first, and you're not sort of nutrient saturating and getting the building blocks in, then this works, but not to the extent that it really can. So make sure that you use it as part of the system as well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. Like I've definitely had people that have just wanted to try this product, but it's just not going to complement it the way it's meant to by doing it standalone. So I love that you've touched on that, Roz. Yep. And on a mum sort of perspective on this one, like I can definitely vouch for this being a real addition to taking it. Has really helped with my stress levels. And the children and Dean do comment quite often that, have you had your yet, mum? So it's very much
it's pretty basic.
Yeah, it's very much a product that I try not to miss out on any given day to keep me as a nicer person.
Yeah.
So, and the last one is just obviously the e-shots are a great little addition to the energy and performance side. And I can see Maddie's on has joined, which is awesome. And I think maybe Dom, you can nod to see is Mads doing a marathon? Is that right? No, not Mads. Okay, maybe it was someone else that Mon had told me about. So anyway, I'll get you to share on these little guys, Roz.
Yeah, so these little guys, well, first of all, like the thing I love about all of this is it's all no compromise. It's the thing that got me started with this program in the first place, is that there's no compromise on ingredients, and really go look into what that means, because you'll see so many little like energy things out there. And even though this like comes in a cool little box, a nice little bottle, it's pretty much what we saw in the Ionics, plus some like green tea caffeine. So most people will find that they have those periods of the day where they get tired, and it's normal. Like if you're a mum, if you are an athlete, if you are, someone who, functions at a very high level, your mind is going pretty quickly, as well as your body, right? So this little guy, it's not that you don't necessarily like need it, but I find that having these in my back pocket for those times where I feel that little bit of a slump, or that day where I need to be super productive, is insane. Because all it does is it adds on to what you already are putting in your system with Ionics. It adds in a bit of green tea caffeine. It's got the same adaptogens and things like that. So it's a little bit of a boost and a bit of a bump in that area. And then what you tend to notice for me is a lot more mental clarity. And I have these before I play sports. So about an hour before games, I'd be having them before the game. So rather than having like Red Bull or anything else, and I just noticed that my mental clarity was ridiculous going into the games. And then if say I was a bit fatigued by half time, like so maybe our footy games are about 2 hours, so 60 minutes later, then I'd have another one at half time. So that's on a performance level. On an everyday level, if I was, I work behind a computer, I'm also working with people. So if I get that sort of 2 p.m., 3 p.m. slump, and then, say I was a dad and I had to come home and I've got to, all of a sudden be energetic to go hang out with my kids and kick the footy, then I'd be adding one of these in then rather than, a coffee or something like that. And what you'll find is your energy levels, rather than sort of going like this all day, they come up and they just maintain themselves, and even you can just jump up to a bit of an extra level. So that's what the E-Shot is in a nutshell.
We all love e-shots. All right. So we have now got Dom, our very good friend over in the UK. He is going to share a little bit of his energy story. So go for it, Dom.
Thanks, Mandy. So yeah, my story is probably a bit similar to yours, actually, Rory. It's the energy side. I was often waking up in the morning and feeling like the first thing I need to do was take a nap. Kind of before Isogenics, I guess you'd describe me as like a burnt out corporate zombie. I was really struggling to get out of bed pretty much every morning, and was feeling lethargic pretty much all day, and was a victim to that mid-afternoon slump. And as a result of that, I was really demotivated, actually, to do things that I wanted to do in my life, especially when it came to fitness. So the way I found out about Isogenics was through my girlfriend. She'd been using it back in Australia, and I've been using it for about 6 months now. And as a result, I feel like I can just jump straight out of bed in the morning. Often, as you said, Rory, sometimes before my alarm clock goes off. And I can maintain kind of this focus throughout the day and avoid that 3 o'clock slump in the afternoon. And I have this abundance of energy, which allows me to do CrossFit at least 3 times a week, which I would never have been able to do before Isogenics. So I feel like I have this loads of energy and motivated, and I feel like I have this kind of sense of control back now in my life.
Amazing. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that.
No worries.
Beautiful.
That's awesome, man.
So, as we've obviously all heard tonight, you know, like the products work, you know, there's real people sharing real results. It's pretty simplified, like Rory touched on, you know, there's nothing too hard about it or complex. It's just, you know, decide to put the products in your body, trust the process, and let it work. And it really does work. So just quickly, you know, Isogenics has done some studies versus the heart healthy diet, and without going into too much of it, there was some incredible results from all of this, and basically compared to the heart healthy diet, which is something we have sort of in America, but it was also something similar to in Australia. What is it? Yeah, I think it's called the same thing, something like that. But the results from using products, the people who were using the Isogenics products compared to obviously doing the heart healthy diet, there was some major increases in weight loss. So 56% more weight loss with using the Isogenics system, 47% more fat loss with Isogenics, and twice as much visceral fat loss. And for those who may not know what the visceral fat is, that's that really nasty fat that sort of sits around your organs. So to see those sorts of results is incredible, and it's really reassuring. And that's, I guess, where this sort of leads into is just the quality assurance that we have behind here at Isogenics. You know, they have a very strong, no compromise policy with it all. So just knowing the products are, you know, researched and selected from the best raw materials, and the, you know, what's the word? The rigorous testing that they've done, obviously, to put these products through the ringer to make sure that you are actually getting what it says you're getting on the packet, has been really, really incredible. So like Rory said earlier, there's some amazing research and information that you can find on the websites below. So you've got isoproduct.com, and just make sure if you're in the UK market, you just got to change that over so that you're getting relevant information to the products that are in your market, as well as lots of health and science information on the isogenicshealth.net. So it's all completely transparent. There's nothing hidden. You can message the scientists. You can get on calls with nutritionalists. There's, they're completely transparent with the information that they share. So, which is again, very assuring. And again, just to let you know that Isagenix do their absolute best to ensure that these products are what they say. So they've got over 50 full-time nutritionists, dietitians, biochemists, toxicologists, all of these people on board to ensure the products that you're getting are safe and effective for you. So it's a great thing. So we also just need to touch on a disclaimer here. It is really important around the products and the income side of things. Isagenix and what they offer in this system is just a food system, okay? So they're not here to obviously diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or health condition. It's really important to know that. It is just food, and you make a decision obviously to put in your body, and all of a sudden you start to see these changes happen. So it's also not typical we can't claim to say that Isagenix, you lose this amount of weight in this amount of time, because quite simply everyone starts at a different point in their health journey. So what may be a big weight loss for some may not be the same for another. So it's important to know that we all start at a different level. And this also applies with obviously the income disclaimer here as well. So with the business model of network marketing, there's lots of things that obviously impact your success behind this. So that's your obviously your personal ambition, your commitment to the business, your work habits, and obviously your skills that you've come in with beforehand. So it's an amazing opportunity, but obviously, like everything, it takes work. So just leading on here, like we touched on at the beginning, there is a solution clearly for your health, but there's also touching on that financial stress as well. So what Isagenix do is they don't put their products on the shelf. They don't market it and spend money on advertising. It is purely shared by people who use the products, love the products, and tell people about it, or people notice and they share what they're doing. So it's word of mouth marketing. It's completely organic and simple, and it's the best form of marketing out there. So what Isagenix do, instead of obviously putting all that money that they earn back into the marketing side of things, they reward our loyal customers by giving them a referral bonus. And, we like to say, whether or not you want the money or whether you're against it or whatever, at the end of the day, if you're sharing it with others because of the results that you've had, they're going to pay you. So you can either choose to hold on to that money, or you can, donate it to charity, whatever you want to do. But they're not going to stop giving it to you when you continue sharing it with your friends. So this is a very simple system of how it works to start with, and it is no more than you sharing it with a couple of friends and getting rewarded from that. And I won't go into the figures here because you can see it all. This is all UK relevant. So you can basically earn, by sharing it with 2 friends, you can earn up to £304, which is super, super exciting. And from there, helping your friends share it with their friends, you can continue to earn. So by doing the you share, they share, and then repeating that can basically either help you get your products paid for every month, which free nutrition is pretty unheard of. So that's a great thing to know, that you can get the best quality nutrition in your body and not have to fork out for it, which, yeah, I'm pretty sure, like I said last week, I think, want that. Yeah, that's it. I think it's like Coles or Woolworths over here in Australia don't do that, and I think it's Tesco over in the UK, but I'm pretty sure they don't give you money back over there.
Nah, and man, can I just add to that as well? Like when I started this program as a health professional, it's always health for me. I never started for the money, but I literally started the program, and I asked my friends, I said, who wants to do a detox with me? And I had probably 10 mates put their hand up, and 3 that actually said, yeah, let's do it. And without even noticing, because I didn't understand this process well enough at the beginning, just by asking that question, my friend Peter, who actually got me started, helped me get the boys set up as well. And all it is ordering my food online, ordering their food online. Next thing you know, like a week later, I got an email from Isogenics saying, oh, you know, I think the program cost over here was $600. And they said, you know, we've just put $520 into your bank account. And I literally thought they were joking. And it, like, I'd never started for that reason. And then it made me really think, because I was like, holy crap, like, I've just started this program. I've impacted 3 mates. Those mates, one went on to lose 10 kilos. The other one was Tully, who's one of the co-founders of this community. And the third one was a guy, Tommy, who lost about 12 kilos. So I've impacted 3 mates, got $520 in my bank account. So my products are now free. And then I've gone on to get my health result. And that's when I really captured what this was, you know, capable of doing, not only for the health side, but also the impact side as well. So I just wanted to share that.
Absolutely. And it's exactly that, you know. So I was exactly the same. Absolutely was so opposed to any financial side of it. But I think when you do start to get your health back, and you start, you know, people start to notice it is just the way it works. That people are, it's completely organic. People ask, or you start talking, and so if that's the case, I mean, why would you hold it back? And you're having these incredible results, yet you don't want to tell your friends about it. So it's a bit mean, really.
Awesome. It's just a law of receptivity. They're going to give it to you anyway. So it's kind of cool.
Exactly. So that, and you can obviously, whoever directed you to the call tonight or whatever can give you some more information on that if you want to know more. So, and just before I move on to this, it's don't forget there's a 30-day money back guarantee on this system. So it is a win-win. You either get your health results, or if you choose not to, you know, use the products for the month, and at the end of it you go, no, it's not for me, you can send back all the empty boxes and they will actually refund you your money. So it is completely risk-free, and I think it just shows the credibility and the assurance that they've got behind their products for them to be for Isogenics to actually to be able to offer that. So super exciting. So yeah, just to finish, guys, you know, like if someone was to offer you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, say yes, and then just learn how to do it later. And that can be, you know, that can be business focused or it can be product focused, you know. You know, don't be that skeptic, you know, go out and find out the information, you know, like skepticism really is just not knowing the full spectrum of what you're being, you know, what you're being presented with. So go out, ask the questions, get the research, find out all the information that you need to actually make an educated decision forward. So it's, you know, it's nothing more than that. And if you were to think on that health perspective, you know, like 30, 60, 90 days from now, if you said yes today and then in a month's time, 2 months' time, 3 months' time, you actually got those results that you had been wishing for the last however long, imagine how that would impact your life. You know, how would that make you feel? It is something there that, yeah, absolutely. And again, same with the opportunity, you know, like if you're needing that extra $100 a week, then this could be something that that could help you get there too. So with that, I would just like to say thank you all for jumping on. I hope that was informative enough and gave you the information that you sort of needed to be able to, like I said, move forward. Yeah, I'm going to stop. Maybe, Roz, do you mind stopping the recording for me, Dale? Sorry. And I think I might just open it